Okay, so the big news, you've probably heard it, Gayle King went to space.
Right, on that Blue Origin flight.
Yeah, exactly. And not just like a simulator, but the real deal. Blue Origin knew Shepard
Mm-hmm.
and the crew. Wow, all women.
Mm-hmm. Katy Perry was on it, Aisha Bowe.
Yeah. Kerianne Flynn, Amanda Nguyen, just an incredible lineup. And the main thing, Gayle's back safe and sound.
Definitely. Which is, always good news with these flights.
Totally. And what really caught my ear was her reaction afterwards. It makes you think, wasn't just another celebrity stunt.
No, it feels different somehow.
Yeah.
Having someone so, familiar, someone we see on TV regularly go through that,
Yeah.
it sort of makes space travel feel a bit more, I don't know, tangible.
Exactly. And that's what we wanted to dig into today. You want to explore her experience, using her own words, her firsthand account. What did this bona fide frickin' flight, her words, actually feel like?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to understand the personal side of even these shorter suborbital flights. It seems like there's more to it than just the quick trip.
Okay, so let's get the basics down. When did this happen? It was pretty recent.
Yeah, Monday, April 14th, just gone.
And the flight itself, super quick.
10 minutes and 21 seconds, roughly,
Uh,
from launch to landing.
Wow. 10 minutes. It sounds almost anticlimactic when you say it like that.
Well, yes and no. I mean, it's short compared to, say, going to the ISS. But in those 10 minutes, you experience some pretty intense stuff. The launch forces, then zero-G.
Right, right. And the view, of course.
Exactly. All packed into that short window. And they went pretty high up.
What was the altitude again?
Let's see. 346,802 feet.
Okay, big number. For us regular folks, what does that mean? Is that like airplane height?
Oh, much higher.
Yeah.
Way, way higher than commercial jets. They didn't orbit the Earth, so it's suborbital, but they definitely crossed the Kármán line, the sort of accepted boundary of space.
Ah, okay. So proper space.
You're getting the black sky, the curved Earth, the whole weightlessness thing. It's the real experience.
Which explains her reaction when she landed. She said, I am so proud of me right now. I loved that. And then this was not a ride. What happened to us? This was a bona fide freaking flight.
You can just hear the raw emotion there, can't you?
Yeah.
That distinction she makes, not a ride, a flight, it says a lot.
Yeah, like it was something earned, something significant, not just passive.
Exactly. A real sense of achievement, maybe pushing through something difficult.
So what was it like, the experience itself? She talked about weightlessness, obviously. She described it as oddly quiet and peaceful, which is interesting. I sort of picture floating as maybe a bit chaotic or disorienting.
That's a common thought.
Mm.
But once the engine's cut out and you're coasting, it can be incredibly serene. You're free from gravity's constant pull. There's no engine noise inside at that point. It's a very unique sensory environment.
Mm-hmm.
Peaceful makes sense.
Huh. And the view, looking down at Earth, she said it really hit her, made her think we need to do better, be better.
Yeah, that's the overview effect right there.
Oh, okay.
And
I've heard of that.
it's this profound shift in perspective astronauts often report. Seeing the planet as this fragile, interconnected whole without borders, it can be really powerful.
And she felt that even on a 10-minute trip.
It seems so. It suggests even a brief glimpse can trigger those deeper feelings of connection and responsibility. Pretty amazing, really.
Now, here's the part I found really, really inspiring. Gayle's been very open about being terrified of flying, like genuinely phobic.
Right, I read that too.
And yet she did this. Apparently her instructor called her the best success story because she started out so afraid and actually went through with it.
That's incredible. It really highlights the mental challenge, doesn't it? It's not just physically demanding. There's a huge psychological component, especially if you have a pre-existing fear.
Totally. It shows it's not just for adrenaline junkies. The preparation, the training, it must build confidence.
Absolutely. And overcoming that kind of deep-seated fear, well, that's a major achievement in itself, separate from the flight even. Her instructor's comment really says something.
She even quoted Eleanor Roosevelt, you know the one. Courage is doing something that scares you to death, but you do it anyway.
Perfect quote for it.
And she said the experience made her feel like she could take on anything. Imagine that feeling.
Yeah, that's the power of pushing your boundaries, isn't it?
Yeah.
You face down this massive fear, and suddenly other challenges might seem smaller, more manageable. It recalibrates your sense of what you can handle.
And she wasn't alone up there, facing it. That all-women crew aspect is so cool.
Definitely. Quite a group. You mentioned Katy Perry, Kerianne Flynn, the producer, Aisha Bowe, the former NASA scientist.
And Amanda Nguyen, the activist. Just powerhouse women. And Lauren Sánchez put the crew together, right? Jeff
Mhm.
Bezos' fiance.
That's right. Which is also interesting, showing women taking leading roles in shaping these private space ventures.
Gayle talked about forming this true sisterhood with them, said they're forever bonded.
Yeah, I can imagine. Sharing an experience that intense, that unique, and probably a bit scary. It creates bonds that everyday life just can't.
Yeah, that shared vulnerability and triumph.
Exactly. Trusting each other, supporting each other through the training and the flight itself. That shared view of Earth,
Yeah.
it's powerful stuff.
And speaking of powerful moments,
Wow.
get this. Apparently, after the zero-G part, when they were maybe starting to descend, Katy Perry sang.
Oh, wow. Did she sing like Firework or something?
No, that's what's so great. Apparently, people asked her to sing her hits, but she declined. She said, "It's not about me. I wanted to talk about the world." And she sang, "What a Wonderful World."
Oh, wow. That's pretty moving,
Yeah.
given the context.
Right. Talk about understanding the moment. Choosing that song after seeing the Earth from space. It feels really appropriate. Humble, almost.
It really does. A shared reflection on the beauty they just witnessed,
Yeah.
rather than a performance. That adds a whole other emotional layer.
So when they asked Gayle afterwards, any regrets, her answer was just crystal clear.
What did she say?
"I'm glad I did it. I am very glad. I have no regrets about doing it."
Yeah.
Just definitive.
That seals it, doesn't it? Despite the fear, despite everything, the experience was fundamentally positive, valuable.
And her next goal, after going to space.
Okay, what is it? Learning rocket science.
No, she's thinking about getting her ears pierced.
Seriously?
Seriously, apparently it's something else she's been a bit afraid of doing.
That's actually brilliant. It shows exactly that point we were making earlier. You conquer the massive fear, and suddenly these smaller, nagging fears seem doable.
Right. It's like, well, I went to space. I can probably handle an earring. It puts things in perspective.
It's a perfect, relatable example of how pushing boundaries can ripple through your life in unexpected ways. I love that.
Me too. And zooming out a bit, this whole flight, it really points to this bigger trend, doesn't it? Space tourism is actually happening. It's becoming, well, a thing.
It absolutely is. We're seeing these suborbital flights become more regular. It's still incredibly exclusive, obviously, very expensive. But it's cracking open a door to personal space travel that just wasn't there before.
A whole new frontier for, I guess, extreme travel.
You could call it that. It raises all sorts of interesting questions, about accessibility, environmental impact, what it means for more people to potentially have that overview effect experience. It's early days, but it's happening.
And Gayle said she hopes her flight inspires people. And I think, given who she is, how open she was about her fear, it probably will.
I agree. Seeing someone relatable, someone who admits to being terrified, go ahead, do it anyway. That's powerful. It kind of demystifies it a little, maybe makes others think, maybe I could face my big fear.
Yeah, it challenges that idea of who gets to go to space or who gets to overcome massive obstacles. Representation matters, like you said.
Exactly.
So wrapping it up, it really feels like this 10-minute flight was way more than just 10 minutes. For Gayle King, at least, it was this doubly transformative thing.
Packed with awe, connection with the crew, this huge boost in courage. It seems to have genuinely shifted things for her.
Yeah, it proves that even these short hops to the edge of space can have that profound psychological and emotional weight. It's not just about the altitude.
Well put. It's the combination of the physical sensations, the visual perspective, and that internal journey of confronting and overcoming whatever personal barriers were there.
Which kind of leaves us with a thought, doesn't it, for everyone listening? What's your version of going to space? Maybe not literally,
Right.
but what's that thing just outside your comfort zone that scares you a bit, but doing it might just give you a whole new perspective? That bona fide freaking experience, whatever it might be for you.
It's a great question. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be dramatic. Sometimes the biggest shifts come from facing those smaller, persistent fears. It's definitely food for thought.
Definitely. And if this has piqued your interest, there's so much more out there about space tourism, the overview effect, stories of people pushing their limits. Lots to explore.
Indeed. Stepping outside the familiar, that's where the interesting stuff often happens.